Welcome back, Rico Money Bags, a channel helping you invest in yourself so we can invest in the future. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, keep the bell notification lit. You guys don't want to miss out. We got some headliners today. We got some special guests already waiting in queue, so it's very important for you guys to share this stream so we can get our guests up on the stage. We're going to cover BTC. We're going to cover, the XPX movement that we got going on with our $1 million virtual cards live, which is a huge development, not just for XPX, but honestly for the whole Web3 space. You guys definitely want to be a part of this. We're also going to be talking about Annie. We're going to get Pissin to come up in here. We're going to talk about a little bit about SpaceX as you guys get these numbers up for our amazing guest that's going to pull up and kind of talk about SpaceX, because this is the second time that we got to see it go live over the weekend. So this is all new data that we get to collect and really learn from that we've never seen before from the largest IPO ever raised. So super important. Let's start off right at the top. Let's refresh this coin market cap. Make sure that we got the accurate numbers for this amazing community that's pulling up really strong right now. Sharing this on your X, sharing this on your YouTube, on everything like that is super important. This is your guys' channel to get the numbers and get the word out there. We're at a $2.2 trillion market cap, $64,000 BTC and some change. The market's a little bit red from yesterday and a couple other days, but we're still consolidating in a really good area. I see our guests pulling up right now. We got Pissin pulling up as well. So yeah, get ready. This is going to be a nice live show, man. We're going to have a lot of fun. We got Ethereum also at 1,731. Like I said, a little bit of red, nothing to be really too concerned about because we've been seeing these prices already for months. This is not nothing that we can't handle. We had Solana at $74 and some change. Now we're at $72. So, nothing too crazy really going on. And that's kind of been the topic of the story for quite a bit, especially after the IPO kind of took a lot of that liquidity, took a lot of that attention from the cryptocurrency market, but in the same time, kind of giving it exposure to the cryptocurrency market, because I think you're way better off, not financial advice, trading SpaceX, not being locked up for 180 something days and going to something like Hyperliquid and catching these longs, catching these shorts. Like I said, not financial advice, but we'll talk a little bit about that in just a sec. We got BTC right here on the 4-hour chart. We're being patient, man. Patience is a virtue. We've been doing so good at this. When the market was pumping up and giving us that daily chart, and we were on the fence a little bit, and okay to be on the fence because we had this right here. Not sure why my volume profile is not popping up, but this is where that base level was at right here. We started to climb up, and that was that bullish momentum that we felt a couple weeks ago. But I told everybody, I said, let's wait until it breaks the 200 moving average. That's the biggest bear bull indicator, not because Rico Moneybag says so, not because I got a crystal ball, not because I got a magic carpet that I fly around on my time off. No, because this is the biggest bear bull indicator, whether you're looking at stocks, crypto, or whatever. And we got rejected right there. And you could have been still a little skeptical, and you could have said, okay, maybe we're going to go back up again. Maybe, we have some bullish momentum turn around, but that goes right out the window right here when we get that sell signal on a really high time frame. You want to respect that, right? And you see what happened right here with that sell signal. We definitely have come back down. Going to the 4-hour chart and kind of layering this thing up to kind of give you guys an idea of where these little upticks are happening. This is where all this stuff is happening on this hourly chart, with BTC breaking above the 200, breaking back underneath, breaking back above. And that's why I say the higher the time frame, the less games you got to play with this, right? The market has been in a downtrend and been wiped out. On the daily chart, you could have placed a short on BTC at $107,000. You could have placed your short when it broke the 200 moving average right around after October 10th and all that stuff was going on with the wipeouts. And you could have shorted this all the way down to buy more Annie, to buy more Pissin, to buy more XPX. Now, of course, we're just saying you could have, not saying that you should or anything like that, right? But this is why we've been so patient, because on the chart, it shows us that when it's bullish, it's above this 200 moving average, and anybody can do this, right? So when it's underneath this 200 moving average and we got this red cloud, it's bearish. Not because of suits and ties or the Fox or the CNN or this, whatever they say. I really don't care. What I care about is what the money is telling me. Okay, because people can say whatever they want, but the paper trail is what's telling you what's actually going on. And we can see right now that Bitcoin still has some work to do. And we're going to get that work done, right? So BTC on the 4-hour chart, we're being super patient. We want to creep back up to this 200 moving average. Not sure why my volume profile is not showing up. Let's refresh this. Let's see if we get our volume profile to kind of give you guys an idea of where that point of control is at and where we could be going to. Excuse me. Okay, there goes our volume profile now. And then we're going to go to ETH, BNB, XRP, and then we're going to bring our guests up. We already have over 100 viewers. I usually like to get up into the triple digits to bring my guests up. So we're going to fly through these tickers pretty quick because I got some amazing guests that we're going to be speaking to. Yeah, it's going to be a great show, honestly. So just share, get comfortable. I got my coffee, my McDonald's coffee, which I think is the strongest. I think it's better than Starbucks. Starbucks might taste better, but if you want that punch, get you a McDonald's coffee. They got the connect for sure. So 4-hour chart, this is that upper valley range right here. Look at where this upper valley range is, exactly where we topped out before and exactly where the 200 moving average meets. So where is it at? 67,000, 70K. That's where BTC breaks back out. All right. Let's go on to Ethereum next for all my ETH people. What are the targets that you're looking for? What is it going to look like when it breaks out? It's going to be this upper value range. Again, this 200 moving average. I'm not making up the rules. I'm just following them. Around this $1,800 ETH is where that breakout is going to happen for ETH. Now, if that breakout doesn't happen, we have to, manage the risk to the downside, and that's a $1,500 Ethereum. All right, so looking really good as far as where we're headed towards that 200 moving average. Should crash into it again, but that breakout is where you're going to see me come onto the stage with 3 cups of coffee in me, and I'm going to be through the roof, because we've just been patient since October 10th. Wipeout, downtrend consolidation. It's been over 250 days that it's just been pretty boring, to be honest with you guys. So we're being very, very patient on the breakout that's going to happen. All right, it's going to happen. Crypto's not going anywhere. If you got any questions about crypto leaving, the biggest IPO that was ever raised is trading over here on Hyperliquid. We got ETFs going live. We got this going live, that going live. Pay attention to the infrastructure sometimes, and not always price action. Look at what the smart money is doing. They don't care. Have you seen them crying about price slipping? No. But they sure are building, and that's why XPX takes a page from these guys, right? I want to take XPX all the way to the top, and the way that you do that is you take a page out of their book, right? Stay focused on infrastructure, not price all the time, and that's why we've been building nonstop. We got the XRP fam right here on the 4-hour chart. We got a sell signal that we should respect, and we got this lower valley range looking at down at $1.08 XRP. And if the breakout happens, we're coming back up to $1.25 XRP to get that kind of uptrend is what we're going to want to see right there, right? Not yet quite there, but we'll get there, man. You guys, that's why I keep the bell notification on, because I don't do none of that. The floor is in. No. I'll let you guys know, man. We'll change the way that we sound on here real quick, but I gotta be honest with my subscribers. I gotta be honest with my investors. I want you guys. It's not just about making money in this space. It's also about preserving your money in this space, right? And this is how, just being honest with everybody, it's a lot easier for everybody not to get caught up in the sauce. They say, "Oh, this is the floor. This is the floor." No, it hasn't been the floor, because we've been trading underneath this 200 moving average for over 200 days already. So don't tell me it's the floor. I'll tell you when it's the floor. When we get above this 200 moving average and we do first mouse gets the squeeze, second mouse gets the cheese, it's going to look like this. Boop, first mouse, second mouse. When we get that happening, man, it's going to be different on here. And you guys are going to feel it. You're going to feel that euphoria come back into the market. We're just not there yet. Even with BTC conference, XRP conference, price is still slipping. So we're waiting on liquidity to come back in. Let's go to Solana, because we do got some 2 amazing Solana projects that we're going to bring up. And again, this is why I do this, because imagine if you would have shorted Solana, you would have had the bell notification lit from, since back over here, and you would have seen on the daily chart Solana at 190. You could have shorted that. What? You could have went and go play with your kids. You could have went on a fishing trip on the weekend, because all these are daily candles, and you could have shorted it from up here. I'm not saying you should. I'm not a financial advisor, but heck, I mean, it's looking pretty transparent on trading underneath the 200 moving average. We have bearish movement. We have the going down. Everybody said it was the floor. This is one of the ones that got me really irritated. We went down, and then everybody right here, this is the floor. No, it's not. When we get above that 200 moving average, then we start talking, man. Okay, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, guess what? It's a duck. Right now, it's bearish. We're not going to get caught up in this is the floor. No, it's bearish right now, and that's okay, because either we shorted to buy more Annie, we shorted to buy more Pissin, we shorted to buy more some more XPX, or we just accumulate now where it's consolidating and getting ready for first mouse gets the squeeze, second mouse gets the cheese. Why? Because right here it showed us what happened right here. First mouse gets the squeeze, second mouse gets the cheese. I don't know. We're following the rules for once in our life, and it's actually working out. So you guys take some notes on this stuff, because it's not really that hard. If you get lost in the sauce with the, the people, the loudspeakers, you're going to get lost. But we've been bearish for a while. No floor yet. All right. So we're consolidating somewhat of a floor, but we want that above 200 moving average on these tickers to really start feeling bullish all over again. So we covered them pretty fast, because you guys are already at 188 people live. You guys are rocking this space. Woo! Woo! I'm going to jump into XPX, share some things, and then we're going to get into Annie first. Then we're going to bring up Pissin. I appreciate you guys all pulling up. Space Cats in the chat. We got Darren in the chat. We got so many different, we got Prophet Bear in the chat. We got so many different projects pulling up, community members pulling up. We got Cluck Norris pulling up. You know, I've seen so many people even DMing me like, oh, can I get up there? I was like, I already got Annie. I got Pissin. We'll set something up in the future. But man, coming over here to XPX, man, I'm telling you guys right now, I will ask you guys when we start having those breakouts, did you get a bag of XPX? Because we have reached over $440,000 in paid orders. We are over $60,000 in paid orders right now this month. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to be over $500,000. Maybe by the end of the year, we'll hit $1 million in paid orders. This infrastructure that XPX has, we've been building for 2 years. We got KYC 100K MasterCards, non-KYC 10K limit MasterCards, non-KYC in 106 countries, over 85,000 companies that you can pay your light bill, your electric bill, your car note, whatever you want, non-KYC via cryptocurrency, 70 different cryptocurrencies. We also have non-KYC gift cards. You want to buy somebody for Father's Day an Amazon card because you don't know what drill he wants, whether he wants a Milwaukee, whether he wants a DeWalt, well, just get him the card, right? And this is what we're doing. We're bringing use case to cryptocurrency. And no matter what, whether you're a meme coin millionaire, an NFT flipper, or you spend all day in the metaverse, there's going to come a point where you got to put gas in the car. There's going to be a point where you're going to have to, you know, take care of real life. And that's where XPX steps in. XPX is not the type of project that if you win, we lose. We want you guys to win and look at us as a viable source to spend your cryptocurrency in the real world with a project that obviously has the bandwidth, obviously has the connection. So this is pretty bullish right now for all of us, not just that these $1 million cards are out and extremely cool to be a cryptocurrency project that can release utilities like this. But I think what's more bullish is that if my guests that are queued up right now wanted to put $1 million on their card, if you wanted to put $1 million on your card and I put $1 million on my card, that we have the bandwidth and the liquidity pools to handle that. Now, when you're an investor, not a gambler, you should be looking at a market cap and saying, hey, obviously this is an undervalued investment. Obviously, this is an undervalued project that we should get a bag of, because how in the heck are they able to have the liquidity pools to make, if everybody wants to fill it up, they could. That is massive connections with the real world and banks around the world. So come over here, check us out, and have some fun with us. We are currently at a discount price at $369K. I have a massive bag put to the side for when we break $1 million market cap. I am going to ask you guys, did you load up on the dip? Did you get some XPX? Because when we break $1 million market caps and I start pulling levers, I'm going to ask you guys, did you guys miss out on this opportunity? Because we are going to take this thing a lot higher. So I'll post this in the chat, and then I'm going to bring up one of my guests, because we're at like, what, almost getting close to 300 people live. What are we doing over here? We're spreading the awareness of cryptocurrency and multiple projects in the space. But let's go to Annie first. This is a project that kind of struck a chord with me. A father doing his thing, and pretty amazing, actually. But you know what? I kind of want to bring him up and let him do all the talking. Let him know let you guys know right from him what's actually going on. But this art is absolutely amazing. And I'm a guy who likes abstract art. I've gone to many art museums. I've gone to, you know, the first week here in Las Vegas, they have the first Friday here in Vegas, they have where, you know, they have the art show and you guys can go to the local artists. I've gone there many, many times. And I like to do stuff like that and just give yourself, you know, some disconnection and kind of just think a little bit and process what's going on. But without any further ado, I'm going to bring up Mark, our first guest of the show, man. You guys don't want to miss out. Stay tuned in. This is not like a 2-minute elevator pitch. You get to do what you got to do and talk about your project, why you're passionate about it, your story behind it. And you guys stay tapped in, because we got Pissin coming up next. I think a project that's getting ready to break out for sure. But Mark, brother, I want to say thank you for pulling up to this stream, all the community members that you brought along, everybody that's a part of Annie, and obviously Annie herself. Big shout out to her and what she's doing for this space. But Mark, brother, it's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to have you up on stage. But for those who don't know who you are and stuff like that, say what's up to everybody. Get comfortable on the stage and say hi to the community, and we'll jump into this.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, so my name is Mark Wright. I'm the dev of the Ani coin. It's named after my daughter, Annika. She is my only child, and this is my only coin. I'm not a serial dev. In fact, I'm kind of brand new to the crypto space, brand new to being a dev. I started it in March, and the reason why is because one of her pieces of art went viral. She's been going viral for the last 3 years or so. She's 13. She drew that crow right there when she was 10. And most of the art that we see on the website that we're looking at. She was about 10 years old when she did that, but she did that pencil when she was or back in March. And when I posted that went super viral, got like 750,000 views, something like
Wow.
that. The guy that plays Fonzie on Happy Days, Henry Winkler, for those of you that are old enough to remember that show, he reposted that, said he liked it so much he would put it on his wall.
Yeah.
And when he did that, I started getting messages from all these crypto bros, right? I didn't know anything about crypto, but they were wondering if they could, turn her art into a coin. And I was kind of ignoring all of these messages because crypto had kind of a bad reputation, and I didn't know anything about it. But one of them kind of spoke in language I understood, and he just said flat out, he's like, "Do you need money for anything?" And as it turned out, we were looking to raise some money because my daughter is autistic, and we have found a private school that would be perfect for her. She had just started junior high school a few months before, and junior high is a whole different animal than elementary school. Elementary school, she was able to handle okay, even with her neurodivergence, just because she's with the same kids in the same classroom with the same teacher all day, every day. But in junior high, you're with different kids, different teachers, passing periods are crazy, it's noisy, it's chaotic.
Hmm.
Um, and this new school that we found, this private school, is they've got school uniforms, they've got quiet passing periods. I mean, the whole thing is kind of designed around neurodivergent kids in a way. And they've got an incredible art program. Um, Her art is, so this piece we're looking at right here, this is a good example of why I mention her autism as well. It really informs the way she does her art. What we're looking at here, this was a peach that she was working on, and that is thousands of tiny little dots that she drew, little blotches of color. What she'll
Wow.
do is she'll take a photograph of, so in this one, it was a photograph of a peach, and she imports it into her iPad, and then she'll zoom in to like the pixel level, and then she'll do like little blotches of color for each individual, practically pixel. And it's something that really
Wow.
only someone with the hyper focus of an autistic person could do. And
Yeah.
this one is kind of tragic because she was working on it for months. I mean, this thing, she had put dozens and dozens of hours into this. And unfortunately, she hit a couple of wrong buttons, and my wife and I were in our bedroom, and we heard our daughter shriek, like it sounded like she hurt herself. And
Right.
so we went running in there and we're like, "What's wrong?" And she had um accidentally ruined the colors on this. So I have, the only reason we have this one as preserved is because she had texted it to me like a night or two before. But so she had done a lot more work on it and then accidentally wrecked it. And the way Procreate works is you can only undo a certain number of times, and then it won't let you undo anymore. And she had was kind of frantically trying to fix it, and in trying to fix it, she she wasn't able to undo it back to regular. And
Right.
so basically she lost all of her work on this thing. And it was so devastating to her that she stopped doing art for about a year and a half. So this was when she was 11 that she did this
Wow.
peach. And she was it was in January or February of this year that she started drawing again. And so um, there's a pink flower that you'd showed earlier, and that pink flower was the first thing that she had drawn. Yeah, that one. That's the first thing that she had drawn basically since that peach. And so she was almost 13 when she drew that. And that went viral as well. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. And that kind of reignited her spark for drawing. Um, and then I posted a drawing of a dog that she did. Elon Musk himself gave it a like. I
Nice.
mean, when she goes viral, I mean, she gets a lot of attention for her art. I mean, she's literally got millions of impressions with her different pieces of art. So anyways, this dev offered to help us raise some money, and I thought, okay, you know what, might as well give him a shot. And so he was true to his word, and he signed over all the creator fees to us on that first day, and it sent to like 600K that first night, and thousands of dollars came rolling in, which I'll always be grateful for. And then he set me up to, or had me set up a community on X, and made me like the public face of it. So he stayed in the background the whole time and had me kind of be the public face of the coin. And then on night 2, he rugged and left me standing there like a chump. Like everybody's like sending me these angry emails, like, why, you know, why
Yeah.
did he rug? And I'm like, what's a rug? Like, I didn't even know. I'm like literally a normie, not knowing anything about any of this. And once I, you know, figured out what had gone on, like I felt terrible, you know. And
Right.
I'm a man of integrity, and I wanted to try to make things right, just because I had signed off on this thing and given him my permission. And so I set out with there was a group of whales from that first from that coin, and they suggested that I start my own coin that I could do, you know, my own way and have full control over it. And they said they would come with me, and they would help me out to make sure that it got a solid start. And so on March 9th, we launched the Anika coin, Ani, and it went great for the first few weeks. And then we had kind of a malicious whale. Those are her great grandmother's hands, by the way. That's a
Wow.
jar. Her grandma used to make this raspberry. Her great grandmother
Wow.
used to make this raspberry jam from a bush in her backyard, and
Wow.
she made that for her grandfather to honor her great grandmother who had just passed away.
Amazing.
But anyways, about 3 weeks into this new coin, we had this whale that secretly had accumulated 20% of the coin, and he dipped, and he dropped us from 80K market cap down to 20K, and nearly killed that second coin too, or this, you know, the Anika coin. But we survived that somehow, and we went sideways for about 2 months or so. And then I started doing spaces on X, and the story resonated with a lot of people, and our market cap shot up to about a little over 100K, and we hovered there for a few weeks. And then we had there was kind of a downturn. Everybody kind of suffered. Yeah, you see that on the chart there. And then we had a couple people dipped just over the weekend, really. And but we're holding steady at about 80, 85, somewhere around there. I'm not sure exactly where we're at, but we've got a pretty solid floor. We've got a good group of whales that are making sure we're steady. But one thing that I'm really proud of is that we donate 10% every week to the Association for Autism and Neurodiversity. They're one of the oldest autism organizations in the country. It was actually Anika's idea. She wanted to make sure that we
Awesome.
weren't keeping all the money for ourselves. She's a very thoughtful kid, and she wanted to make sure that included not just autism but neurodiversity as well, because she's also got ADHD, and she's got generalized anxiety disorder, and she wanted to make sure that other people could have opportunities like she has. And so we've been a coin for 15 weeks now, and I just made my 15th donation. I use something called the Giving Block. They enable on-chain donations, so I do crypto donations, and I post the receipts every week. So you know, the transaction ID is on there, so it's fully transparent. You know, after the rugs and everything, I'm all about transparency. There's a group on X called the number one BSG protocol, and they measure things like transparency. And there's like, I think 26 different coins that they're tracking right now very, very closely. And just this morning, they released their stats, and we were number one in terms of best transparency and basically, you know, health and quality of the coin, you know, anti rug and safety of a coin. So I'm very, very proud of that. We've done our best to be transparent and make for safe coin. Oh yeah, that octopus. We just posted that about a week ago. I think it's got about 80,000 views on X right now. So yeah, she's currently working on another flower, which is really beautiful. Excited about that. But yeah, that octopus she just came out with. So next up for us, besides her art that is coming out, and that kind of keeps things fresh for the coin, is every time she comes out with a new piece of art, it goes viral. But we've got some NFTs that we're working on. We've got a guy that works with galleries and what do they call it? Like people that do like patronages for artists and things like that. So we've got some kind of exciting things in the pipeline for the art itself. So a lot of them will be one of ones, but we'll probably do a mixture of the one of ones and then kind of more of a standard NFT type collection with some of the work, just depending on the piece.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I think
awesome.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, I think this is absolutely amazing. There's so much potential in this project, and it's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you right now. And you got to go through your highs and lows in cryptocurrency, man. I've been a YouTuber since 2021. I've been a developer for 2 years, and I've about seen it all, man. You know, you got to be careful in this space. You know, protect your community, protect this IP right here with this project, because I think that this has a lot of potential. The fact that it goes viral every time she releases some art. The thing with crypto right now is that it's so on this rotation mode that people are on an amazing project to go chase something to go get wrecked because, oh, I don't see no movement today, so I have to press buttons, right? And that's the same thing with, like, there's goods and bads. You got your Jeets, you got good whales, you got bad whales. Everybody thinks that a whale is just, there's so many levels to this stuff, but you know what? You have to understand, like, that's part of this space. And if you got a purpose that's past the price on the chart, and you got a reason why, you will price all these people out, just like how you see on your guys' chart right now. I think your next thing, once you break this all-time high, is breaking that 200K. It will definitely happen. I'm gonna park some soul in this, let you do the work, support Annie. There's a couple things too that Spcx can offer, where, like, as far as a donation widget for you guys to raise funds, I kind of mentioned it in that one live stream. You can get your own card. You can start to, raise funds for Annie, and then you guys can have real purchasing power with the funds that you guys raise, right? And we've already been doing that. We got some big companies actually doing it. We got Moses West Foundation. We got a lot of other projects, some that I'm under NDA with, but this is where and it's absolutely free to set up, free to use and all that stuff. But we can talk on the back end about that. And I'm sure a lot of people from my community will donate as well. And just giving her more supplies or whatever she needs, right? Just maybe just having a good day and just doing something fun, right? To keep the vibes up and being in crypto, and maybe find something new for inspiration. So, man, I wish I had some of the cool things. I am a little hyper focused myself. I sometimes forget to go to sleep, and then my sleep schedule's all off. But man, the artistic part didn't hit me whatsoever. But I have the hyper focus thing. Sometimes people are like, dude, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Like, you're putting in 16, 18 hours a day. I don't notice it. I got to remind myself. I'm like an unsupervised child, basically, because if I don't tell myself to eat or do certain things, it's like, wait a minute, how much time has gone by? But man, I'm so excited to have you on here, and I want to see this grow. I have an amazing community. I have amazing, the XPX community is not just like this peer-to-peer people. We've helped a lot of projects reach a lot of different levels. I actually think that you guys can also get on justshopcrypto.com, our merch store that we launch, and have a bunch of our merch on there where you guys get the funds. I'm the type of person that I just want to see people win. And if you guys win enough, that you guys will come to XPX and use what, because you're going to come to a point where, depending on where you win, whether it's NFTs or your project or whatever, there's going to come a point where you're going to need to use some real world purchasing power. And I want XPX to be that viable source for everybody. So, man, this is absolutely amazing. I think she's extremely talented. I think that, and I'm not going to divide the people. I know we got people from all around the world listening, but I think this is a God-given talent. Okay. Whatever one you want to believe in, I'm not dividing everybody. You guys know that I got nothing but love and respect for everybody, but I honestly believe that this is a God-given talent right here that we're watching, and we should appreciate it, right? Because it's absolutely amazing. So, it's like paying for a ticket to an art gallery. I've spent, hundreds of dollars just on one ticket just to go, chill there for some hours and see some cool things. I've gone to a lot of abstract art places places where, you know, it looks trippy right when you walk in, and the whole art gallery is an abstract thing. And it's like we pay money for these things, so it's like we could support artist that's within our Web3 space that is producing. Like I said, I believe, you know, not to divide everybody, but a God-given talent, whichever one it is that you believe in. I believe that one's, you know, funneling some amazing things, because it's just on a different level, right? And like, I mean, every time that I click on one, I'm blown away by it. And even the pencil one, which looks like, you know, just a pencil, but there's so much detail in that pencil
Yeah.
that's why it's pretty unique. You know, the definition, even this puppy right here, it's just absolutely amazing. And why not, you know, support some of the good in the Web3 space? And you know, they already went through their highs and their lows. They already went through their malicious dev. They already paid their dues, basically, right? That's part of the crypto space. You almost got to pay your dues. And now this is just a very, very healthy looking chart, fam. Don't get, oh, today is not pumping, tomorrow's not pumping. I don't think any of us are in a project that has the potential to go as viral as this on a regular basis. So be patient with this one, DCA into this one, support a positive cause in the Web3 space that helps crypto look good. You heard him right from the beginning. He's a normie, and crypto usually doesn't have a good outlook. And of course, he gets into the game, and what happens? It gets proven right? Because all this stuff happens. It's like, if we don't punch back by supporting the right projects, by supporting not just a picture, right? Because I understand that, right? And the project and the ticker and all that, but supporting the devs that actually care about their project, that actually want to see it further, then you're just you're a part of the problem, right? Because you're chasing all of these pump and dump when you see great projects like this. So make sure that you guys pay attention to these opportunities, because I'm going to be nice about it, but I will say I told you so that Annie was here at 82K market cap. And when this thing's at $8.2 million market cap, I'll be a gentleman about it, but I'm going to I think that you guys can see that this had potential right from the start. So it doesn't have to be flying. It doesn't have to have all this volume from all this stuff. It just needs to build up gradually. And the people who faded this early, they're still in your Telegram. And when it starts breaking these psychological barriers, this 100K, 500K, watch how they flood in, because they can't resist. It's like you know, like a moth to a light, right? And the minute this thing starts going higher and higher, you'll see all your little moths flying in, right? And man, I'm so bullish on what you guys got going on. This is an early play, like I said, on something that I feel is like we're getting to experience a little God-given gift right here. It's absolutely amazing. And even that God-given gift, and everything comes with challenges, right? Because you see her challenges, and even took a break from painting because of that. Like that, actually, I felt that, because it's like, wow, to hold up, because that bothered her so much. And then we have to wait years, literal years. And this is like pure artist stuff, right? You know, most people will see all the fame and all the stuff that's coming, and they'll just keep producing. But that hurt her so bad that she had to take a break from it and then come back with just as amazing art as before. It's an amazing story to be able to tell, and I'm glad to be a part of it, bring my community along with it, and everybody who is listening to this. We have over 500 people listening, man. So if you guys are listening to this right now live, or listening to this later on, I'm telling you guys right now, go put a little bag on there, something that you don't have to worry about. Support something positive. I hear you guys in spaces, I'm tired of the rugs, I'm tired of this. We'll support something positive for the Web3 space, so we can let Mark, you know, Mark's going to be out here spreading the good gospel of cryptocurrency, right? Because we changed it. We need to combat, we need to fight back on, you know, how these malicious projects make the overall crypto space look. And we do that by supporting the great projects. Mark, I want to ask you, like, what are your plans like currently right now with this? I know you spoke about it a little bit, but a little bit more on that. And then, you know, where do you see this going? I know you said about some NFTs, which is awesome and stuff like that. Do you have like and I don't want to put her on the schedule, but is there like a time frame that you know, like art pieces come out, or is it just like, you know, kind of just free spirit out of nowhere she's producing, or have you found like a pattern to it? Because, you know, even me being hyper focused, I got my own little patterns that I kind of do, and I notice them. So is there like a pattern that we notice, you know, her producing this amazing art that I'm so privileged to see?
Yeah, I can't you can't put a time frame on her. Like when I try to encourage her to do the art, sometimes it backfires. Like if it feels like pressure, then it
Hmm.
makes her not want to do it. And
Right.
so I kind of just have to let her go at her own pace, and do her thing. And I she has a hard time. She used to do commissions, like that one puppy dog that you saw.
Hmm.
She did that as a commission, like when she was 10, and that's the one that Elon liked, by the way.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, it's, you know, she's only 13 and trying to, you know, I
Yeah.
just I've got to let her work at her own pace.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so while she's doing that, I'll just take the work that she's already done, and we'll make the most of it through the NFTs, um, and and that's kind of the next big project is the NFTs, and we've got some big plans with that. So
cool. Very cool, man. I'm so honestly, I'm so privileged to see the art. I'm like every single one is just amazing. And it's like it's nice to see this. Like I've been in crypto for so long and I've been watching, I'm never gonna leave cryptocurrency. That's why I made XPX. I learned that during the bear market that I wanted to be a part of crypto in a way that was never gonna go away. And to see it just evolving to where it's at now, and now where you're seeing kids being able to involve themselves into cryptocurrency and be able to develop some funds to help whatever dreams they might have and experience life. That's what this is, the opportunity that we all have in this cryptocurrency market right now. It's a chance to break through this .com moment that we're currently living in. And I think you're doing an amazing job as a father to provide that opportunity for her, because we had our chance with our .com moment. We could have bought the Apple stock when iPhones first started coming out. We could have bought Google stock when that first started coming out. We could have but this is that revolution that's happening right now. History doesn't always repeat itself, but it has a little ring and a rhyme to it, and this is that .com moment right now. And that's why I want XPX to be a household name in the realm of payments. We got Cash App, we got Zelle, we got Venmo, we got all these things. I'm not here to, I just want to be on the Mount Rushmore of payment rails, right? And establish myself, because I know when we look back 10 years from now, we're going to say that we wanted to build something off of this. And you guys could be working on an art gallery 5 years from now, to helping other autistic kids, be able to get exposure on their art pieces. And I love that Annie is willing to donate that and help out these other kids that, have these talents. I don't think it's special. I think these are pure talent. That's, a God-given gift right here. And it's unique and it's special. And I think it's amazing that, this can really scale up, not just from Annie, but when you look at this as a community, as all these other kids, this can be massive as, a nonprofit starting around this, where you guys continue to grow and help other kids also get exposure in this, and also giving these kids the opportunity to this .com moment, because you have to find something within this .com moment that you don't care putting in time, that it's long hours and all that stuff. But when you look back, you're going to be very grateful, because I think one thing that I repeat to myself, I got a couple things written down that I got to read and keep myself, but it's like, you can either deal with the pain of regret, which weighs tons, or you can deal with the pain of discipline, which weighs ounces. And I think if we stay really disciplined right now, all the way to when this .com moment is fully realized, we will reap the benefits of the discipline that we put in. But Mark, I do got Pissin coming up next. I have him queued for the 45-minute mark, man. You've been absolutely amazing. This is the first, but definitely not the last time we're going to have you up on here. Is there any, as developments happen, or you just want to come up on stage, you're more than welcome to call me on the Batman line. I'll pick up the red phone and you can join me anytime you want. Any last remarks and any last words for people that are maybe just tuning in, or maybe that have already heard the story, and some last words you want to leave them with about this amazing project and opportunity that we all have right now?
Well, I'll probably just add that along with the NFTs, we'll probably have some merch coming out, things like cards and maybe some t-shirts, apparel, things like that. But I'll also, I just want to give a little shout out to Pissin, because they're friends of the Ani coin, and I've got a little bag of Pissin, and I'm rooting for them as well. And I know that they first kind of gave us a shout out to you, and if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have been on here today. So I'm just grateful for them and for good people like them. So
Thank you, brother. Thank you so
got.
much. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And
Yeah.
if you can put that tribalistic mindset to the side and help each other out, if we grind together, we will shine together, man. Just because somebody else is winning doesn't mean you're losing, right? Just wait your turn, keep grinding, and everybody gets a turn, right? Everybody gets, a lot of people quit right before it's their turn, right? They're just about to call their number and they're like, and it's like, hey, a journey of 1,000 steps starts with one. So just keep on marching and just keep on going, and eventually your number be called. Just make sure that you're ready for it, man. And I think Annika's project is completely ready. This art has been ready, and I'm looking forward to seeing the future of this, not just the project, but really the art and everything that comes along with it. So I think this has amazing opportunity. Even right here, I mean, it's right there, it's written on the wall. You know, Elon Musk even liked one of these. So guys, you guys like your speculative Elon liking something and stuff like that, it's right here in front of you guys. Don't get wrecked chasing some serial person or whatever. And I know you guys like to make your couple X's, but look for some serious projects. You know, the markets are still figuring themselves out. This is the time that smart money is accumulating, right? It's just been accumulating nonstop. Solana's on an all-time low. This is a good time to buy Solana. Don't start buying Solana when it's back $250. And now you're trying to buy Annika, and you could have bought Solana right now at $70 and been loading up this whole time. So, Mark, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for pulling up. Like I said, you have the Batman line. Pull up anytime you like. Hit me up. We'll pick it up, and wish you nothing but the best, brother. I know that's what you guys are going to get, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem, brother. You have a great day.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. We got somebody coming up looking handsome on the screen as well. I'm loving this. My brother that's been connecting everybody, man, been bringing a lot of projects on, and a project that I'm bullish on. And this is those early stages that you guys see. I'm sure you guys heard of Pissin. I'm sure you guys seen him on Spaces, because the guy just doesn't stop, man. And he's not this, like, you know, selfish guy. He wants Pissin to win. He wants other projects to win. And I really, really appreciate that type of vibe. And these are the type of people that I honestly want to work with, right? These are the type of communities that I want to see win. And I think this is a hilarious meme right here. And I think it's at a crazy, crazy early prices right now. And like I've always said before, it's not always about investing into, do I like the ticker, do I like the meme? But hey, have you seen a guy pulling up for 3 months straight working for your bag while you're at work? Have you seen a guy, you know, in Spaces nonstop, letting everybody know about this project? This is the type of guy, not just a ticker, not just a thumbnail, but hey, I want to know that when I'm taking a nap, that you're working for me, right? That you're not letting nothing get in your way. And I think this is that project that represents that perfectly. So, Pissin, brother, how are you doing today? Are you pissing around? What are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Rico. Thanks for letting me come on here. Yeah, I'm at work actually, and so if you see me freak out and throw my phone down or something, then you know somebody of importance has walked in on me. But man, I want to give it up to Mark and his Ani project. He's gone through so much getting his feet wet in this space, and you know that's a great lead in. You know, just trying to help them and help, you know, like Mullet Man and different projects that I was shouting out last week, and I know all of them, and we are. You know, we're here to. I started this project, one, you know, to be straightforward with all this, is I just got sick of the rogues and scams, and you're starting to hear a lot of people start projects for that, and a lot of new devs. And I'm a new dev. This is my baby, and I'm not going to be like Mark said, a serial dev launching other projects. It's this one, and either we run it to millions or I die trying. And I've always said, you know, tell everybody that if you ever see Pissin CTO'd, it means I died. So send my wife some flowers. I just got frustrated, and I wanted to change the space. I wanted to give people something, you know, a safe environment. I just realized that Pissin is misspelled right there all of a sudden. You gotta love AI. It's not real great with words.
No.
But the main thing is I can't do it by myself, and just my project can't change the trenches, right? You know, only 10% of the population, I think they say, really knows about crypto. And if we're going to bring in the other 90% or a big portion of them, we've got to change this space, at least in the, you know, the trenches. I mean, your Bitcoin and Ethereum and your, you know, those things, yeah, that's what most people know anyway. But if we want to really pull people into the trenches, something has to change. And I realized I can't do that by myself. And I started my project to try to go down that path. And that's why you'll hear me talk about other projects and spaces that I believe in. And Mark mentioned the protocol with the #1 BSG and Trash Cat Radio. They have a great space at 7 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. And I would, you know, highly recommend people try to pull up to that. But we got to all work together, and there's tons of money in this space, right? So there's no need to get all defensive and fighting over things. And we're all different, right? There's not another Pissin horse out there. But it just kind of fits into my dad vibe kind of thing. You know, I'm 53 years old. I got a couple of kids in college, and you know, my wife is still supporting me so far because I'm pretty much in a space as soon as I get home, I'm on them when I'm driving to work, and here I am at work. A lot of times at lunch, and it is a grind, but man, I've had a good time, and I've met some really great people. I really thought the whole crypto, at least meme coin trenches, was just bad people, and because I just even when I would get to know one of the devs, and I would think that, hey, this guy is really good. And one of the last projects I was in, I really thought that, and I lost a lot of money in that project, and that's on me. I shouldn't have extended myself that much. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and it was another horse project. And at the time, that's when Pippin was taking off, and so I was like, man, wouldn't it be funny if we had like a Pissin horse? And when I was even in their TG talking about it, and a couple of days, I was like, man, you know what? I trust myself. I was about the only person in this space I know I trust. I'm just going to launch one myself. And I had no idea what I was getting into or what I was doing. And I have learned a lot in 108 days, or 109 days now. If you went out to Pump Fund, you will see 2 Pissin coins. And one of them, look at me, I'm old, I ain't got much hair, I'm gray. Setting up bots and everything in the TG, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I launched that thing by myself. TG started going off, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Shit, pull the plug, And one of the guys, my moderator, he goes, "Hey, can I help you? I'll set the bots up and all that." And I'm like, okay. And we waited a few days, and I'm like, man, I feel like we just got to relaunch, but I don't want people. I am doing this because I want to give people a safe place, and I don't want to start off people thinking I'm a scam because I'm launching a new coin. And he goes, well, just tell me it's like a soft, a soft start or something. And but I waited and I looked, and there was nobody holding my token. And if they were holding my token, I would have sent them free supply and the new one just to make up for it. 'Cause that's just the kind of person I am. I mean, I tell people I like to fish, and I found like almost $1,000 fishing rod in the lake. And before I could feel like I could really use it and it became mine, I went on all these Facebook pages and said, I found this really nice rod and reel. Has anybody lost one on Lake Chickamauga? And I did that for several weeks because I would want other people to do that if I lost it, right? And so that tells you a little bit about me, right? And I think that's what everybody needs to know is, you can see the Pissin horse. He's hilarious, very memeable. If you don't like gas prices and all kinds of stuff, you can piss on it, right? But you really need to invest in devs and people and the teams and everything like that. One thing we do have rolling out, I just ordered some stickers, and I think it showed up on there as like a QR code. And so if you think back to the days of Joe Biden on the gas pumps and everything, I think it was on the X page. But so we got songs in there and everything else. I don't know what that is. Yeah, that one. So that one, I'm getting some stickers made, like little 3x3s, and it'll be cut out. And our thought is you could put that on a gas pump, or we could put them on insides of, porta toilets or whatever, and people can scan it. And we made a landing page for it that just has a real quick, here's the lure, the background of Pissin and who he is. And then it has, here's a link to go download a Phantom wallet. And here's the steps, how you add Solana and all that, just to onboard, right? So I wanted to make it for people that, because most people are going to look at that and scan it are not in crypto, right? And so I wanted it to be very straightforward. And then it has all our social links, and we're on all the socials, but we're a small crew, and we can't get all the way out to every one of them. We keep them updated. So X, Telegram, and then are our main ones that we really keep updated all the time. We do have 2 X accounts, and the one I'm really using right now is one is at Little Pissin, Lil Pissin. Because when X went through that whole shut down everybody and their brother suspension thing, our main account got suspended. My wife's accounts got suspended because I used them for it. We went through like 11 accounts. And then then all of a sudden we got like 5 of them back one day, just out of the blue. But the main one it's been so shadow banned. Like if I go into a space and I type something in the purple pill, I can't see it. Nobody can see it. It doesn't show up in spam. And even if I let it sit there and rest, it never gets out of that condition. It's always like just invisible, except for the person I tag in it. So our Little Pissin, and it just doesn't have as many people following it, but it's getting bigger, and that's when I use in spaces. And it will probably become our main one if that other one never gets unshadow banned. But this is how we're going to try to onboard a little bit more people, some normies. And like you said, we've been around for 109 days. I'll give you a little bit more of the technical side of Pissin, and because it's just funny. It's funny. I don't care. And when you go in spaces, especially when there's like ladies that run in spaces and they go, okay, we're about to bring up, Pissin, they can't help but go, hee, they kind of chuckle a little bit. So, and I always go in there and there's a sound effect to flush the toilet. When I get done talking, I'll flush the toilet, because that's a respectful thing to do. But we've been around for 109 days. And as of today, we now have 30% of the supply locked up. And the majority of that is tokens that I hold. And so, we're all about transparency and honesty. And you come into our TG or come into our X spaces and you can ask us anything. We don't want to run off to DMs. Actually, if you come into my Telegram and say, hey, check your DMs, which we all know we get a lot of those every day. Well, we got a bot that pops up a little picture of our horse that says, check DMs, ? How about you check these nuts? So, we have a dang good time, Rico. We really do. And so we got 30% locked up, 3.2 million, not a lot, but we burnt 3.2 million. And that's mainly where my creator rewards have gone. All of my I haven't taken a penny out of this project since I launched it, which is probably stupid on my part. But I don't ever want to kill the momentum when we have some momentum. I want this thing to run to the millions. And I know at some point you got to pull a little bit where you can build the floor back up when it drops back down. But you can see there we've been up as almost to 64K. We're sitting down there almost around 24, 25 right now, which is really a solid floor for us. It's really good, especially with the price that Solana's at right now. When we were in the mid 80s, we were holding the floor about 21K. So for us to be around 25 right now, you're looking at closer to 30K when you get back into the mid 80s on Solana. If Solana hits 300 in the next bull run, you're looking at $100,000 market cap without us doing a single dang thing, right?
Exactly.
And
I want to say something really quick, brother. I want to say something because sometimes, this is the stuff that we learn over time, and then we think that people just get that right away, right? And because we learned it and we've been in here, so it's just like, just normal nature, like breathing. We don't even realize it. But for those who are not listening, what he's talking about right there is that when Solana moves, a lot of times people G and sell their bag, and it's Solana dumping, and it brings the market cap down. They're like, oh my God, my project's not good no more. No, buddy. Solana's coming down and we're paired to Solana, so it affects our chart. But at the same token, that same thing, because you know how life is, it's like a number 8. What goes down must go up. And when Solana goes back up, and like he's saying, and I've been telling people in Spcx too, load up right now, because when Solana goes back up to 250, this stuff's not going anywhere. And if you're building something, you got your right IP that you love, it's already programmed. That's what I mean, that we're programmed to win, because when Solana starts to go up, and Solana will, I think Solana is one of the most undervalued blue chips that there is right there as far as altcoins, because all these meme coins, what they have done is stress test the market, right? During that bull run, all that stuff did was prove that Solana is one of the top blockchains as far as transactions and fees, right? And this stuff's not going nowhere. With Solana ETFs passing, is people see how Solana's so cheap, and instead of buying Bitcoin at 60-some thousand, buying Bitcoin at 80,000, buying it Ethereum over 1,000 something, they're going to say, hey, why not take Solana that obviously produced all these meme coins that went so high? Obviously that's undervalued. So I think Solana is extremely undervalued. I think there's an easy 3 to 4x sitting on Solana right there that will change all of our market caps. But I just wanted to jump into that to let everybody know that this is when smart money is actually accumulating to Solana and accumulating their conviction plays, because it's programmed. When Solana goes up, our market cap, we could just sit on our hands and do absolutely nothing, and it's going to go up automatically. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit, Pissin.
Yeah. I'm an engineer, and I love Excel, and so I build out a little thing like here's the different Solana market caps and what it does to ours. What our price is, because I've got a guy that's been in the space for a long time. His name's Wes Smith. He's been around our project since like day 2. We were bag holders in the project that broke the camel's back together, and that's where we kind of met each other, and we trust each other so much. But he is really good about tracking wallets and looking at that kind of stuff. I'm not, but sometimes he'll get down like, oh God, there goes our floor when we drop to 16K, and I'm like, well, when I do the math, we're really still at that 21K that we used to be at $85 Solana.
Mhm.
And so I tell them like, hey, calm down. It's all right. we're good. We're good. And I made a little visual for everybody, and I share it in our TG. And go, hey, now then they get excited, right? They're like, oh my God, look at, when Solana runs to 200, look where we're at. We're really good. So yeah, I totally agree. And that's stuff that I've learned in the last 3 months. I had a lot of great people come out, and I've learned that usually when I start calling out the people who've helped me, I always leave one out and they get a little butt hurt. So I'm not going to do it today, especially the space is big. But there is a lot of people, and they know who they are, that we wouldn't have bonded and been here without. Because I had a lot of people come out at the very beginning and say, "Is this your first project?" Yeah, is it that obvious? And then they're like, let me help you. But we try different things. We went live on Pump Fun a lot. I do videos and just put them out there instead of just, typing something on X. There was one point that I was going out, and actually when, the influencers would say, hey, give me a project that won't rug me, I went on and videoed my response to them. And one person started calling me the piss boy, and he was kind of an ass, but but it is what it is, right? Nobody knows me, and that's what I'm excited about. Finally getting to like over 100 days is you can hear me talk, and you may think, hey, that's a good guy and a good person, and I can trust him, but you don't know until you've seen me show up day after day after day, and you hear that my story doesn't change, and that how much work I'm putting into this. And, we're looking for people that can put that much work in and be a community member, and not, hey, what can you pay me? Because we're balling on a budget without a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and that's, there's somebody very big in this space, and you know them, but I'm not going to say it. But they have a pay to play kind of space. And they told me, hey, you can't do this without 15, 20 grand. Well, I ain't nowhere near that. And, and we're doing pretty good. I think we're where we're at because we don't have that money to run volume bots and pay KOLs. But all that stuff is just pump and dump stuff. And everybody gets so sick of rugs, but they want all that. They're like, oh, we need a volume bot. We need coals. Well, as soon as the volume bot stops, because it's expensive, and as soon as the boost stops, and as soon as the coal's done with you and takes all your supply and sells it, you're right back where you started. Maybe gain a little bit, maybe. But it's like, and then they bitch about it. And then you're like, hey, I don't do that. I'm a slow cook. We're building organically. Want people, slow money is still better than no money, as Ben Billion says. And, as well as the red days are the bread days. I probably owe him a lot of royalties for all the stuff I repeat after him. He's got some good sayings, man. That guy can preach it. But yeah, but then you come out and give somebody a good project and start pulling in other good projects and teaming together, and they're like, that's too slow. I don't want that. I want the 2X and go on. Well, you're gonna get wrecked. You're not gonna make it. And that used to be me, but not no more. And I've learned so much. I mean, go take your time, go listen to the devs and the teams talk, do your research, take some time to let them repeat themselves over and over and not go nowhere, right? And then invest in the people. If you like the lure and the narrative, that's important. I mean, it is. But you also need to know that the people are going to be here and have the right intentions in mind. And I mean, I'm showing my face just like Mark did, and I want people to know me. I want to build trust, and that's what I've been doing since the beginning. We paid Deck Screener right off the bat, just about. Hell, I tried to get Jupiter Verify when I didn't know what I was doing at like 8K. I don't even think I was bonded yet. They just laughed at me.
I love it.
But I just wanted to say, like, hey, I am here to do this the right way.
Yeah.
And we just submitted for like the third time on Jupiter, and we got denied again as of yesterday. And it's because our volume's not there. We haven't met their levels, right? So I've emailed them and said, hey, look, y'all are really holding back these projects that are trying to do it the right way. We're as organic can get. And just because your algorithm says that we're not meeting your levels, you're hurting a lot of good people and projects that are trying to change the space for the better. And, because they play a big role in that, and how we show up in that phantom wallet, right? And we disappear all the time. We gotta go, hey, everybody calm down. It's just hidden. Got to go and hide our coin. And but I told them, like, if y'all want this space to get better, you've got to figure out a way to support a smaller project. So we'll see what comes of that. I don't expect nothing from it, but we'll keep grinding. And when the market turns around and the volumes come in, we'll give it another shot. And if the volume's there, then I'll definitely pay for, to fast track that while it's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're not Jupiter verified or on Coin Market Cap yet. We also tried for Coin Gecko a long time ago, and they said we were too offensive. But then I've tried since then, and that went away, and it's just the volume now. So, I was like, how do you say I'm too offensive when you got shit coin?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a little bit of is what I'm telling you guys. You guys definitely want to get a bag of XPX right now, because you want to wait for some of that stuff before you do it. You don't want to do it at these market caps, right? You want to organically build, get really good distribution by people that are that'll hold with you and stuff, because what you're going to do is just pump it up for people that are going to let go right away. So just organically climb. Look, I launched XPX on the BNB chain. It's been 2 years now. We just had our 2-year anniversary, right? And, there's a recipe to all this stuff. And I want you guys to win, but definitely hold off on that. Even when we come over here to XPX, we bonded so freaking quick. And then we had a bunch of jeeters, and you know what? That's cool, because they missed out. When we get to this $1 million market cap, I've been here before. Okay, I know, on the BNB chain, we hit $2.7 million market cap with $500,000 in liquidity. So, and we're still on the BNB chain. If you love BNB, come over here to Smart DeFi, get a bag of us over here. We have, 57 BNB in asset backing, which is crazy to have. What this does is allows people to take a 30-day interest-free loan against XPX. Then they can put it on the card and use it in the real world. So we started off on the BNB chain, $2.7 million market cap, all-time high. But on Solana, I really think that we're going to go even a lot higher than that. At $1 million market cap, I'm cooking up the humble pie right now to see who actually, DCA'd into this thing, because we have a bag and enough to the side. And obviously we do with a project that's releasing $1 million cards, that when we get to $1 million market cap, mark my words, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. We're going to push this thing a lot harder, because some of these things that you're mentioning, you want to do it in that area, right? Because it's just going to pop off a lot harder. And now you got really good distribution. And imagine, I was saying if we broke $1 million mark, I'm just showing you I wear my heart on my sleeve. I got nothing to hide, right? You guys been seeing me here. Got close to 4,000 videos since 2021. I've been in this space, right? But if I would have did the Coin Gecko, if I would have did all that stuff right here, these same people who dumped on me, you don't think they would have dumped viciously just like they did right there? Of course they would have, right? Yeah. So you know what you do? You go in the kitchen, you start putting all the ingredients together to cook up a nice little humble pie for them. And then, when you break out that $1 million market cap, you bring that thing to the dinner table and say, hey, have a slice of this. Because I told you guys when we did this, rain or shine, I'm going to pump this thing even higher. Right now, there's a bag on the side. When we break 400K, you guys are going to see our next leg up. I got some Solana ready, some things that we're going to be doing. Obviously, to just bring the floor even a lot higher. I think when we break 500K, a lot of people who sold, because when these people sell, they're still in your Telegram lurking around and stuff, right? So it's like when we break 500K, that's the beginning of them smelling that. What's cooking? Say, oh, that's humble pie coming very soon. That aroma. Oh yeah, that's humble pie that I got coming up for you guys. And I think at that 500K mark, and we start moving up, it's going to be looking really nice. But for those who are listening, we've been doing this for a while here. Just know that when we get to that $1 million market cap, and we will, okay, we've got $440,000 in paid orders, 60K this month. Where development's going to keep going. Our technology that we're going to put all of our tools together for 2027 is going to be extremely bullish. You're not going to want to miss out. We got one of the most powerful APIs and webhooks in the space, and we're going to start taking these APIs and webhooks to corporations and organizations to really scale this thing up all the way to the moon. So you guys are early, but I would wait, Pissin. Honestly, I would wait, build this organic floor. A lot of these people, they're looking for their 2X, like you mentioned. These guys, oh, I want this, and you're in their TG. Can you add this? Can you do this? Why? So you can dump on me? It's like you're not here for the long term. Like, let's accumulate. Let's build some higher floors. Let's break some of our all-time highs together as a community. It takes a freaking village, right? And just know that, hey, your dev Pissin is the type of guy that want to take it higher, right? So give him the opportunity to do the right thing when this project breaks its all-time high to take it even higher. Let him get there, right? And that happens as a collective, everybody pushing this together so that the dev can do the things that he has to do to take the price a lot higher. It takes a village. And I know I got one of the best villages in the world where I release so much utility, and the best compliment that I get in the space is that the XPX community is amazing. You guys see them all over in X spaces. You guys see those purple. Yeah, you guys see those purple and green avatars everywhere on spaces, and release cards, all this stuff. And the best the best compliment, which I'm very proud of. I love these people. They're absolutely amazing. And we're going to do this together. We're going to take this thing all the way to Valhalla. Is, hey, you got an amazing community. And these people are the type of people that deserve, and you'll attract them, right? I didn't do nothing special. People trying to figure out, hey, Rico, how did you get this amazing community? I see people looking like vultures trying to, figure out how to get, it's like, bro, you know how I did it? Promise made, promise kept. I didn't do nothing magical. I've been building for 2 years. We just had our 2-year anniversary, and I've just kept my word. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. If I say we're going to do this when we get there, best believe we're going to do that, okay?
Yeah.
And this is the type of people you want to support, that when Pissin breaks up here or gets to 100K, you know that this is a guy that deliberately wants to take this higher and take this all the way. So let's grind together to help the dev get to that point where he has the ammunition to take this a lot further.
Yeah, well said. Thank you for the advice, because I'm still learning, and I am always open to advice. I'm not the one that acts like they know everything, and that's something else I've learned in the space. I'll be in there with my team and be like, "Hey, what do y'all think about this?" And they're like, "You're the dev, you're the boss." Yeah. It's like, man, I even in corporate America, you have teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you need a diversity, you need opinions and different viewpoints. So that's been really weird for some of them, but they're coming around to understand, because I want it to be more like a CTO kind of feel, where we all have a say, and I do look at it like this is, it is a business, and I look at it like publicly traded business. You buy Pissin, then you're a shareholder, and you have a voice in my Telegram or wherever I'm at, and so. That's what I'm looking for, is people that want to speak up and give us advice and help us. And man, we can find some bag workers. That'd be fantastic. But we do have a merch store, and I've been checking your stuff out. We had to talk a little bit there, and it's been out for a few weeks now. We've made some sales on that as well, and all the profit on that is going into our liquidity pool. I started a second liquidity pool. We're pump funds, so. The one rolls into pump swap, but I've started a radium one that doesn't have very much in it, a little like $130 right now value. But all our merch is going to go, our profit's going to go into a liquidity pool. So everything goes back into the project, right? And something we've started recently. So I've done a lot of networking over the first 109 days. Hanging out with the stupid MFers and Ben Billions and Mike from Coco P and Meek from Super Saiyan, and all over the place. I don't the big Steppas, I'm all over their stuff too, and Trash Cat and Heine Coin community and the Digi Blunt community, and so we've been all over the place. And so your P chart there, where in case we don't know if you're dehydrated or not, and it is getting hotter, so you need to know that. We have a cheaper version too; it's just plastic. But I've been networking, but the thing that has hit me recently is we don't have a very big community, and that's what we need to focus on now. And it's a bear market, and I think that's a blessing for us right now to build a strong foundation before things turn around. And I know it's going to be a slow go. We might pick up a person or two a week, maybe. But what we're doing now is we have a daily space on X every day at 5 p.m. Eastern. And so, I'd love for people to come and hang out with us there. If you have questions, we'll give you the mic. You can ask us anything. We're an open book and transparent. And, I ain't going to say you always like the answer, but but you can ask us anything. It's all, I'm not going to get mad. People come in our TG and we from other projects, and I'll help them if they got something they're promoting. I let them promote it in my TG. They let me come into theirs and do the same. There's like a bunch of us that are just coming together and helping, and a lot of us are new. And it's been awesome. It's been a great experience to get to meet a lot of these people. But we'll have a space today at 5 p.m. Eastern on X. It's the golden shower hour with Pissin and Friends, Shill and Chill. So episode 4. So I hope everybody can come kind of check us out. Check out our TG. You're more than welcome to hang out. You ain't got to buy anything. We just want people to have a good time and chill with us, and get to know us. We want to get to know you, and we talk about life and who we are, and we don't have anything to hide, really. And we want to change this space, and it's going to take a lot of great projects to do that. And I'm blessed that we found a lot of those, and we're pulling together in that transparency protocol. And yeah, that's
No,
pretty
that's
much it.
awesome,
That's
brother.
us, man.
No, that's awesome, man. And yeah, just speaking on the merch a little bit, yeah, definitely. If anybody's listening, if you want to get your merch sell and kind of have that impact, I got an amazing community. You know, I come from a little bit of that marketing background. That's why you guys even see my Telegram handle still has CMO on there, because I've helped a lot of projects even from the first bull run to, you know, a lot of times when we release things in this space, and you'll see it's like dropping a brick on sand, right? And when you do this stuff, you want to like dropping a brick in water, right? It's not just releasing the merch. It's how can this have a ripple effect, you know, as far as this marketing material. You know, we've had billboards in Las Vegas, you know, gone there and made real content. So it has to be, okay, not just getting the billboard, but how can this go further, right? Can we get more content out of this thing? Oh, it's not just releasing the merch. Can we incentivize people to purchase more of this merch? You know, and we got some Pissin, you're one that I got in mind. We're currently working with the person who released these figurines for Jesus Coin, which I think are extremely bullish. We got a merch. We got Trozen on here. You guys know TK. We got Zach Humphreys on here. You guys know who Zach Humphreys is. We got the Crypto Breakfast Club on here. We got Ken Do on here, the Jesus Coin, the XPX merch. The list goes on. And my idea behind this is not, and that's why it's called justshopcrypto.com. It's to be the Macy's of cryptocurrency. It's not just to be xpxmerch.com, because I come from the first bull run. There's been merch stores before. You know, there's been a ton of merch stores, but their thing is that they stay, you know, and that's the thing with crypto. It's so PvP that sometimes we don't realize that the way that we design things, although you're not trying to, but the DNA has that PvP style to it. Because, you know, if I would have called this xpxmerch.com, well, okay, unless you're bullish on XPX, that's it, right? But when you go inside of Macy's doesn't have Macy's shirts. They got Polo, they got the Ralph Lauren, they got Polo, they got, you know, Nautica, they got all this stuff, giving you the opportunity to really get everybody in here. And that's what this Just Shop Crypto is, which I think it's $1 million domain, to be honest with you, that's in the making, with the domain being justshopcrypto.com. That can mean a lot of things that we're going to be adding in the future, of course. But right now, this is honestly a great time to get that cross pollination with a lot of projects that also, you know, want to get some merch out there on Just Shop Crypto. And we just don't get you listed. We do a lot of marketing that comes with just getting listed on here, so that your community are incentivized to cop the merch, wear the merch, make content around the merch. And we incentivize that because we have the ammo to do that, right? So looking really good, man. Pissin, we'll get really close to wrapping it up right here with you guys, because I think we got the message across for sure. And I've been seeing you in the space for a while, man. I think that this is a great entry. When you're looking at Solana, you know, when the markets are fearful, you're supposed to be greedy. When they're greedy, you're supposed to be fearful. If anybody would have played that role when Bitcoin was at 126, when Solana was at 250, you would have hit the nail on the head. Okay, so this is the time where you say, hey, and the markets were being super greedy, and I joined in and I wasn't being fearful and didn't short the top. Well, guess what? The tables have turned, and now you got to be looking at this side of the table. And you know what? Everybody's fearful. So I don't want to be where I'm following everybody to the slaughterhouse. I'm doing this thing differently. I'm taking the page out of these institutional guys that DCA and the smart money comes in when everybody's scared and they're pissing their pants, right? They're, oh my God, I'm so terrified. All right, cool. That's my signal right there, is when you're terrified, it's time for me to go. Because when I look at that, it's like, you don't even got nothing I want. I haven't seen you driving a Lambo, so I better do the opposite of what you're doing, because I don't see no Lambo. So obviously you're not on track for the Lambo. So I got to move a little bit differently. And I've just been watching the smart money on the bigger side. But if you got any last words for Pissin before we wrap this up, we're going to talk a little bit more about XPX. We rolled over the hour mark, 540 people tuning in live, plus the people are going to listen later on. It's absolutely amazing. And it's no thanks to me. It's thanks to, you know, Annie pulling up. It's thanks to Pissin. It's thanks to, you know, Space Cats, the XPX community in the Telegram. I cannot do this alone. I don't want to do this alone. Forget that, man. I don't want to do this alone. So join in on helping us find these great projects to push them to the next level. But Pissin, any last words for the people before we get into a little bit more details about XPX, and then we'll be wrapping this up, man.
Yeah, thank you, Rico, for letting me come on and talk in detail about our project. People, you know, just come and check us out. Come to TG, come to our space at 5. Feel free to ask questions, hang out. We got some great music and stuff. I don't have a way to play it on our spaces yet, but we have people almost every show so far. Somebody's made a song and played it during our show. But we just have a good time. If you want to have a good time and laugh, we're a great project for you. You know, we're very memeable, and we just want to have a good time and let you have a place that you can sleep on your bags. And but yeah, thank you very much, Rico. I really, really do appreciate you and the platform you're on. And nobody, you know, hold up a little bit on buying a bunch of XPX. because I need it to stay down there where it is right now for me to get my next paycheck because I need to load up some more before you take it up, before it takes off.
We will.
I definitely love it, man. You got something huge in the works. It should not be where it's sitting at right now. It should be way higher.
For sure, brother. For sure. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, you guys can come listen to some of these tunes on their website as well. They got them posted up there, which I think is pretty cool. This is a crazy discount price, man. Even if you're just a trader and you're like, I don't know, I just want to make some, there's money and there's gains sitting right here in front of you, man. You got a dedicated dev that you know is going to be pulling up the streams, hosting spaces. Like that's overtime on the overtime, joining a space while you're at work. You know, if somebody comes in, you got to drop the phone. That's the kind of guy you want behind the thing. Okay. You want that guy that from the outside looking in, he's got to be crazy to be doing this on his work time, you know, gets off of work. Hi, wife. Hi, everybody. Got to get on the space, right? That's dedication right there. So,
I launched this project sitting on the toilet at work. That's because that's the only time that worked out. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. For dedication, me and Wes and even my mod, we've all at 50 million market cap. We get to 50 million. We're all live streaming us getting Pissin tattooed on our asses. So you know, who don't want to see a bunch of old people? I'm 53. Wes is 58 now. Yusuf, I think, is pretty young. You're still in college, but at least, you know, me and Wes, when we get tattoos at our age, they'll look great till the day we die because you ain't got to worry about that. Well, what's it gonna look like when you're older? But I put that out on Pump Fun live stream like week 1 of the project. I don't know what, maybe say I don't have tattoos, but I'm a man of my word. So if we get there, it's happening.
Nice. I appreciate that, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I got some tattoos myself, and I've been gaining weight on accident. I didn't even know I was doing it, and some of my tattoos are just getting bigger and bigger. I said, "Well, that animal was a different size animal before. This thing's growing now. I'm more concerned about losing weight about the tattoos I got when I got done in my 20s and late 20s and stuff than anything else. But I got to keep that looking good."
We're mostly water, so we're not fat. We're bloated or we're flooded. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good, man. Pissin, I appreciate you pulling up, man. Make sure you guys pull up to the space later on. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Spcx, man. I want you guys to really get a piece of this thing. You guys are super early, man. Like I said, look under the hood. Don't take my word for it. Like, forget that. Just look under the hood. Go see what we've been doing. Go to our website. Check it out. Look at these widgets. Each of these widgets, I'm telling you, will bring in the revenue. Right now, I'm very grateful that we're at $440,000 in paid orders, you know, 60,000 paid in this month. But I am very confident that each of these utilities will bring in an immense amount of revenue, not because I say so, but because they're a necessity for people in this space. So we have our $1 million virtual card live right now that anybody can get using their passport. You have your 100K limit MasterCard right here that you can use with your ID and POA, your proof of address. You have your 10K limit non-KYC card that you guys can do for all your online purchasing. You have your non-KYC bill payments. We started off with 10 countries. We're at 106 countries now. So like I said, look under the hood. Has it been scaling up? Has the APIs been getting better? Has they just released a utility and that's it? Or has it been a ripple effect? Every single time we release something, it's only getting better. It's only becoming more and more premium with 106 countries, with over 85,000 companies around the world, and our cards being live in over 170 plus countries. Our cards, these are seeds planted around the world. I'm not the type of guy to plant some seed. 3 days later, I got to dig it up to check on the seed. Plant your seeds, keep watering them, give them the nourishment that they need, and the rest will follow. Okay, we are super early. If you guys want to use our non-KYC gift cards, like I said, if you missed Father's Day and you didn't know what to get them, well, come over here. Use your crypto. Put it to work. Use some Solana. Use some BNB. Use some BTC, some Ethereum. Come over here. Get him some, get him an Amazon card. Get him a Target card. Let him go to the store and get what he wants. And again, we're just bringing use case to the crypto space. We've been here 2 years doing it. Don't feel like, oh man, they already released all the utilities. We're not a roadmap project. None of this stuff was on the roadmap, by the way, because I want to be judged by my actions and not by the things that I say. So, we just been kind of really just trying to be about it. All the things that I wanted when I was just a YouTuber talking about cryptocurrency projects that went into the billions. And I wanted more information. I wanted to be in the loop. I didn't know what was going on. They had roadmaps and I'm like, hey, when is this going to happen? And it never freaking happen. So I got kind of bitter towards the roadmap idea because I was sitting on Q1, Q2, and we never got to any of the other Qs. I'm like, man, what happened to all the other Qs? I'm like, I don't like that stuff. So I promised myself that when I did this thing, Spcx, and I was building it during the bear market before the bull run started, that we're just going to do what we said we were going to do, right? And we're going to develop along the way. And we started off with some gold Visa cards, absolutely amazing MasterCards. Now we're going to continue to develop this thing. And if you think that you're late and you're like, oh, they already released all the utilities, I'm not going to have nothing to be excited about in the future, you're absolutely wrong, because there's another widget currently being working on. And in our webhooks, that's going to bring all this stuff together, right? All of these things together and make sure that SPX stays relevant with the current times of technology. You guys can connect the dots, read in between the lines. When you got API keys like this and you put this all together with what's going on right now, you know, those keywords, right? Those keywords, I don't want to give too much away. It's going to be absolutely amazing. My goal is to go towards these corporations and show them our resume, right? That's what we've been growing, is a resume of XPX. Because if we go to them, we're like, hey, we do off-ramp solutions. Okay, what have you done? So now we can show over $440,000 in paid orders. We can show them, hey, we continue to develop and build this thing better and better and better. There's going to be another widget that most likely will be getting released Q4. And then we're going to put all this stuff together to really go over some big companies, some that we already have, honestly, that we have under NDA. But this is going to continue to scale up because people need this, right? And you guys are super early. If you look under the hood and you're seeing, hey, these people are being able to, at any market cap, and I don't think there's ever going to be a project that at this market cap can release $1 million card, to be honest with you guys. You guys have to look at this from an investor standpoint. Like Pissin was saying, like an investor holding shares. It's like, obviously this company is undervalued. How can they do this at this market cap? How can they do it without, you know, the chart going down or whatever is going on? How can they keep developing? It's because we are extremely well connected. We're going to take this all the way. Mark my words, just like everything else that I've done. So you guys are super early. I'll post this right here for you guys. Get in early. Have one play that you can just set and forget, and know that the dev is wild and has been working for 2 years straight. And for whatever reason, he just keeps dumping new utility. And the utility that's coming out for this play right here, and then further in the future, is going to be exactly how we go towards these companies and say, hey, we can lower the cost. We can bring your whole payroll team probably down to a couple people that can take care. And they're not going to care if it's a purple bubble. It says XPX or PXP, or there's a guy Rico Moneybags behind it. They're going to care that we can go up to them and say, we can lower the cost of your company, you know, yearly, no matter what, because of the tools and utilities that we're bringing to the table. And when you lower costs for these types of companies, that's when they just set this thing on autopilot and they just keep going. This will be a multi-million-dollar company. Get in on it right now while you can. If not, I will continue to cook this humble pie and remind everybody very respectfully that I told you so. Okay, this is an amazing project. It's already programmed. We will continue to develop this thing for everybody in the space. These cards are super cheap too to get in the door. We've lowered costs. This is another thing, and then we'll wrap it up right here that I want you guys to pay attention to. We started off with our off-ramp solutions being 4.6% the fee. We lowered it to 4% this year for our MasterCard's 100K limit. Now our current rate is 3.75%. So it's not only cool that we can release these utilities, but we have the access to change the fees and lower the fees and to keep being competitive in this space. And these are exactly what the norm is within the space. It's anywhere from 3.5% to 6% for these types of things. So we're really in a competitive range for people to look at us as a viable source to off-ramp their cryptocurrency. When you compare XPX to PayPal, and yes, I'm standing on 10 toes when I say when you compare XPX to PayPal, you know, and this is where I want to take this thing to top 100 cryptocurrencies. We have competitive features. PayPal does let you off-ramp your crypto, lets you do these things, but we have business accounts, we have personal accounts. You can off-ramp up to 70 different cryptocurrencies. Use our invoicing utilities. The list goes on and on. So we have competitive features. We have competitive fees to be relevant in this space. You guys are super early. The card costs you $10. It really costs you $9. It comes loaded with $1 on there. So you guys can go ahead and try to get sign up to get your guys' card today with your password, man. Super bullish on all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for pulling up, all the support, man. Annie, thank you so much. If you ever get to listen to this, I am so privileged to see your art that I really think it's a God-given gift. And I wish you nothing but the best, you and your family. It was, I mean, so cool to have you guys up here. This pencil blew me away, all of your art. And if there's anything that I can do to, you know, just make this even grow more, just let me know. I really want you guys to win. Big shout out also to Pissin, another great person in the space. You know, just doesn't want just Pissin to win, but bring a lot of these people together. Mention Mark, mention these other plays, because he wants the space to grow with the great project. So, you know, I really want to support you guys in your growth. And if you guys can do it in turn, you know, it's a great project to do it with. So thank you guys so much for pulling up. Bitcoin's going to do what Bitcoin does. It's still in a downtrend, not because I said so. I'm not being bearish on the market. I'm just being honest with the market. And this is the time to load up on your favorite plays. You don't want to be caught when this is happening over here, and it will happen, okay? When this market gets above this 200 moving average, this will happen again. You don't want to be late for this stuff, okay? So DCA into your favorite projects, accumulate, spend time with your families. You can yell, scream, do a backflip, whatever you want. We still got to wait for BTC, the Mona Lisa, the rising tide that raises all the ships to do her thing. And we're going to be right here with great projects like Annie, Pissin, Spcx, Spcx, and all the great projects that pull up in all the great communities. Thank you guys so much for your guys' support on the channel over the years. We're going to keep doing this nonstop. This is your channel to use however you guys want. I got XPX, purple blood pumping through my veins. This is your Web3 channel to leverage it however you guys want to leverage this thing, okay? So thank you guys so much. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys can't do that, continue to come back. Experience the abundance of money with me. Until next time, you guys know what it is. Later.
So your bag's backed up against the wall, and the bandwagon's falling right off, and you're hearing all the talk about maybe you should think about what you're gonna do if it don't work out. It ain't